through this now to get this out of the way. So, alright, so this is Kirby Master. Um, I'm going to be demonstrating how to speedrun the route for getting 200 missiles. This is a really interesting speedrunning category, which I'll go into why it's interesting in my opinion in a bit. The definition for this is to have a maximum capacity of 200 missiles. You are done with the race. You're basically done with the category the moment you get the last missile tank. This means that since you start with 10 missiles at the beginning of, after you get the main missile upgrade, that means that you need 38 missile tanks to... You need 38 missile tanks. Once you get your 38th missile tank, you are done with the category. Now, as I go through this, I'm going to assume that you know the basic tricks. So basically, wall jumping and shine sparking. Those are the two main things. You don't have to be a pro at them or anything like that. Though the better you are, the easier this all will be, of course. Because the interesting thing about this category is that there's a lot of early missile tanks you can get in Metroid Fusion, but unfortunate thing is that they're basically useless for speedruns. However, in this category, they get to shine because you want to get as many tanks as feasibly possible, as early as possible, basically. So basically, there are without sidetracking to other sectors outside the main story. You'll have exactly 200 missiles right after you get ice missiles. So basically, this is right before emergency in Sector 3, where you have to spend another 4 or 5 minutes not being able to get any missile tanks. Because emergency in Sector 3 locks you in that area, and locks the doors. So it sucks when that happens. So basically, since you basically have exactly 200 missiles, you basically want to get every missile tank possible. So yeah. Now, I'm basically just going to go over some general tricks, because there isn't too much going on in the beginning of the game. So yeah, you know, again, you don't need to do wall jumps everywhere, but some missile tanks, a few tricks, part of the route, do require basic wall jumping. And shine sparking. Shine sparking is more important. Now, also, what you notice me do is shoot right there. So when you flip jump onto a platform, Samus is in a flipping state, but if you break her out of a flipping state by shooting or pressing up, then she goes into a standing state, and this causes her to land on the platform earlier. This saves a few frames every time you do it, and I don't recommend bothering with it until you get better at the game or become more experienced. Like right there was 3 almost perfect ones. But it's just like general tiny optimizations that once if there's a tiny optimization you want to add, you can add that to your repertoire. Alright, so what else is important? Alright, so throughout the route I'm using, there is a missile tank that normally requires gravity suit, because you have to go through lava. But by having 3 E-tanks, you can get that missile tank early without having gravity suit. This is in Sector 1. So I'm gonna get the 2 E-tanks right before Arachnus, and there's one more in Sector 1 before the missile tank where you go through the lava. You actually only need 2 E-tanks to get it. However, that's barely enough, and since this is likely a race setting, I don't recommend doing it because you have to go through a vertical room with a ton of space pirates, and you'll probably die in one hit. Assuming you make it out of the lava in time. So it was best to grab 3 E-tanks. Also, a note about bosses in general. Almost every boss in the game, I think with the exception of Omega Metroid and Box, almost every boss in the game has a last phase where you fight its Core X. You always want to memorize how many missiles does it take to kill the Core X, because so you can count how many is left until your final blow, and you want to deal the final blow when the Core X is right where the corresponding ability spawns. This matters because if you deal the final blow like at the opposite end of the room, the ability is going to spend time flying to where it normally spawns. And then take like an extra second or 2 to materialize. Now, unfortunately, this also means that it has a chance to take like an extra second to materialize. And I think that's kind of luck, basically. Even if you make it end to the center, but you basically just always want to deal the final blow right where the ability spawns. So here's the second E-Tank. You want to fire a missile and then fire a normal shot to get that E-Tank. And the Arachnus fight coming up is really easy. You basically just spam missiles. Don't worry about taking damage. Yeah, every time he yells, he has a chance of rolling. He didn't roll here. But if he does roll, you want to stop shooting missiles and jump over him, because you can't do anything to him while he rolls, and you don't want to waste missiles on him. I was lucky there. He didn't roll a single time, but if he rolls, one roll is usually standard. 2 sucks. 2 is really bad. But 1 is standard, and it's typical. 0 is very good. And zeros isn't that random either. Alright, so another important thing to note is that a lot of speedrunning Fusion is all about destroying enemies in the way without stopping. That's really important, and it makes a big difference in the long run. So, your methods of destroying enemies varies, but usually, it's going to end with you running towards the enemy, aiming diagonally down, and shooting your beam or a missile at the enemy on the ground as you pass through it. Alright, so there isn't too much to talk about the main deck. There aren't any tricks or anything interesting in the route besides the extra E-Tank I got. Alright, keep in mind that this is catered, that you don't have to do every tiny thing I'm doing. Like, these are advanced techniques I'm showing off. The main important thing is the route itself. And I'm also explaining like how to do each room quickly, kind of, so you can become better at the game. But the goal is for you to be able to do this racing category and join races and race other people. Alright. Cutscene, SAX, it's really scary. So I'll go over another thing. You notice against Arachnus, I fired 2 missiles, and it hit the core X, so that I only had to go through 2 phases of the core X rather than 3. This is why, this is where you do a double missile. So right when you finish off a boss with a core X, not an I core, but a core X. With normal missiles, you have enough time to shoot 2 missiles such that the moment the core X appears, the 2 missiles are inside of it. And you can hit it with 2 missiles at once. That only works for the first blow. So the other way to get double missiles on the core X, which I'll demonstrate later on in the game, is basically to shoot a missile twice upward. So you want to shoot a missile on the ground once, and immediately after jump and shoot another missile. It's a lot easier to show that than explain it. But the part that needs explaining is the fact that the core X is a box. It's hitbox in a box. So you need to like manipulate the box to move horizontally to the 2 missiles you shoot, so the 2 missiles hit it on the same frame. So yeah. Running down the floor here is faster than jumping across the entire thing. And there's a barrier here. There's 3 well-timed missiles to destroy that, so you don't have to stop. That was really bad on my part. But each of these atmospheric stabilizers takes 3 missiles each. Now this room, I personally shoot a missile early so I get the guy on top, and I shoot another diagonal missile after jumping so I get the guy next to the E-Tank. And I take a hit and run through. This is the 3rd E-Tank I'm getting for getting a missile tank early. So yeah, you notice that I'm aiming down and shooting a missile to get rid of those guys without stopping running. That's gonna be a key thing that you'll see me do everywhere. Alright, so now you want to fall down the lava here. Morph. And get this missile tank. So yeah, there's actually 3 missile tanks in this room. But you can't get the one on the top left, fortunately. Not until you get at least... Well, I think you're intended to get it with Space Jump, but you can still get it with a Shine Spark from the previous room as well. So the Space Pirate room here. What I do here is shoot 2 missiles, then morph. The point of morphing is to slow down your descent so the 2 missiles that you shot go past you and then thus kill the pirates on the right wall. If there's more than 2 pirates on the right wall, you can't do much about that. You can unmorph fire another missile and react to that. But it's rare for that to happen for me, so I usually don't worry about it. You do want to be careful though. If you're low on health after getting the lava missile tank, you want to be a lot more careful in that room because the pirates do a lot of damage. Alright, so now there's a series of wall jumps here to make that a bit faster. Once you destroy that, just a missile tank here that you want to get. Again, a reason why a lot of these missile tanks you don't get in the 100% route. Also a reason why the 200 missile run is a lot more interesting, in my opinion, is that a lot of these missile tanks you get early, you don't get them in a 100% early. You get them during cleanup. But obviously in this category you're not going to be doing any cleanup because you're only going through like half the game. So these base parts control you, their positions. So yeah. Alright. So you want to shoot diagonally to get rid of one of those blocks. Then you grab the ledge, short hop and shoot 2 more shots to get rid of the rest of the blocks. Right, so there's the eye door here. The eye doors are completely random. Like, you can't do anything to speed them up. Unfortunately, that is the second and last eye door in the game. Unfortunately, you don't have to. None of the eye doors after that one take more than 3 hits to kill. You can kill them all in 1 hit. Now I got lucky here. The trick I just did is to shoot 2 missiles and hit the beam core X and the eye at the same time. So remember my discussion about the core X with double missiles? This is different. This is a beam core X with an eye. But you basically just do what I did, jump and shoot 2 missiles during your descents, and pray that you get them on the same frame. And I was really lucky and got them both, because it normally takes 4 rounds to kill that guy. Alright, now another thing to explain is this room right here. This room, when you get charge beam, notice that there's a flare around Samus's arm cannon. That flare deals extra damage, and this is extremely important throughout this entire category. Because you don't get wide beam in this category. This is important because this lets you kill eye beam doors in 1 hit, kill Ceres in 2 hits, kill the Mega Core X in 4 hits, and kill this thing right here in 1 hit. So normally you're supposed to go down and go all the way around, and then shoot the wall and shoot 3 missiles on the other side. But instead, you can just jump and kill that 1 hit. Take a hit, jump through it, and kill it with the charge beam. It's very useful. And saves have to go all the way around. Now make sure that you do a straight jump. If you do a flip jump with your charge beam, you're going to do a pseudo screw attack, which is weaker. Pseudo screw attack is useful, but not in this case. Not when you want to do like a full blast damage. Now there's a gate in this next room. To open the gates instantly, you see what I did there, right? You want to charge your beam, while running through the door, let go of B, while aiming diagonally up, and it will hit the door immediately. Now, that one's not a big deal, because you can get that door without stopping, by just shooting. But there are a few gates where you have to do that trick, to be able to open them before you bump into them. That's just a series of 4 wall jumps. It's not too hard to do. If your wall jumps are really good like the ones I did there, those are really good. You can get the missile tank without having to grab the ledge, and it saves a bit of time. Whoops. So yeah, now we're at 50 missiles. You want to be at 50 missiles at the end of Sector 1. That's how many you want to have. Oh, that was really bad. Also, another thing, what happened there, I couldn't shoot any more missiles for a brief moment because you only have 2 missiles on the screen at the same time. And when you tink a missile on something, aka it hits something and doesn't do anything and just falls down to the ground, that missile is still technically on the screen until it's completely gone. So when I missed 2 missiles on that generator and they both tinked, I had to wait for a while before I could shoot my next missile. Alright, so we're basically done with Sector 1. We want to have 50 missiles at the end of Sector 1, and we're fine. Right, more dialogue, yada 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 yada. Alright, so charge beam is very useful. It's so useful in this entire game. Like, it's basically going to be your best weapon for this part, a big part of the beginning game. And you'll see a lot of red caterpillars in Sector 2 called red Zoros, and they take a full a full charge shot to kill. You have to aim diagonally down to kill them without moving non-stop, because when you just shoot your charge beam horizontally on low height enemies, which is basically every enemy in the game on the ground, annoyingly enough, only one half of your charge shot's gonna hit. Because when you watch you shoot your charge beam, notice that it's 2 hits. You notice that there's like 2 bullets. Only one of them's gonna hit if you just shoot horizontally on a lot of low height, a lot of enemies with low height. So you need, for those enemies again, you need to aim diagonally down and time it. All right. Oh my gosh, this is SAX. Alright, so right off the bat in Sector 2, there is a missile tank you can get. This is in a room right below the save and recharge room we see on the map. You can get that, but it's really hard to get it without high jump. I don't recommend going for it. I've never gone for it without high jump. I just don't think it's worth going for without high jump, because you have to just try it many times to try make a perfect jump or something. You have to jump and get hit on purpose by one of the flying enemies. It's really hard and it's not worth it. Like, if you get it first try, it would save time, because that means you don't have to make a very minor sidetrack on your way back, but it's not worth it. Alright, so basically, since your charge beam is OP, you basically want to have it charged the entire time you go through here. So that one I was able to shoot horizontally, because that guy was 1 block higher. This next room, I don't have enough time to charge my beam again for the second guy, so you want to shoot 2 missiles like that. It's really hard to time those missiles. If your timing's off by a little bit, then you're gonna get hit. So if you're not confident about those, or if you're about to die, don't go for it. All right, so that's security level 1 unlocked. I'm gonna demonstrate that again, hopefully. I don't get this every time, double missile every time. Yeah, my missiles were late there, which is how I took the hit. Now you can just fall down here, aim diagonally down and get that guy. In the next room, just walk in, charge your beam, and let go of B as you go through the door. You kill the next guy. Now, if you're not confident about making that wall jump first try, you can charge your beam and pseudo screw attack the flying guy. If you're not confident, but if your wall jumping is fine, then that's a really easy wall jump to make. You don't need to charge your beam. Here though, you want to charge your beam, because when you jump here, the flying guy's gonna get in your way. Now, this missile right here is really easy to forget. Don't forget this missile tank. Alright. Now you notice me morph as late as possible. When I fall down, you see me like either unmorph or morph as late as possible. That's because when you fall from a high height and the morph ball, you bounce, and that wastes a little time. So, you'll see me do that in a bit soon. How I deal with that. But yeah. This room is very RNG based. So, when I fall down here, when I fall down, I'm gonna bounce. So instead, I'm gonna unmorph and morph again right there. And that saves like a third of a second or something. Now, the ideal case is if those 2 red Zoros were right here in the right side. Then you can just go to left without worrying about it. If they're right here, it's okay because you can jump over them. If they're blocking this, then you have to kill them and just waste time. And it sucks. Same idea with these guys. If they're not on the right side, then it's fine. If they're blocking your path to fall down, then you have to kill them. It's very annoying. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Now, when you fall down here, you're probably gonna get hit. I didn't get hit, but you can't see what's below you, so you're gonna get hit by some a Zoro. Usually, they're both going to be kind of cute and follow each other like that. But you can't jump. If they do that, you can't jump over both of them without taking a hit. Or if it's possible, it's really hard. So if that happens and you need to get past them, you want to take a hit from the red one and then jump past the blue one. The reason is because the blue one does a lot more damage than the red one. The red one only does 45. The blue does like, I think, 85 or 95. I'm not sure about my numbers. Right, another enemy in random room here. If both of the flying guys on the left side can do a wall jump like I just did. But if they're scattered around, then you have to kind of improvise and think what's fastest for me to do there. And it's a pretty annoying room. That guy you can just kill with a charge beam and one missile, or you can use 2 missiles. But just make sure to jump because he shoots spikes when you hit him. Right now there's the E-Tank here, and that E-Tank's really cheap to get. Like, it costs almost no time at all. So if you're uncomfortable with going only 3 E-Tanks and you want another E-Tank, feel free to get it. And you notice that the eye door there I killed in 1 hit because I hit with the flare of my charge beam as well. Alright. Now this boss is random and it sucks. How much time he wastes by jumping is random. So he wasted 2 jumps so far. Yeah, he wasted 2 jumps. And he can waste between 3 to 12, I think. I'm not 100% sure of the numbers there. That's 3 total. That's looking good so far. Alright, also during the first 3 phases, you want to hit him with 1 charge beam is enough to end the phase. Any extra damage you do doesn't do anything. But it's a good idea to shoot an extra missile or 2 for insurance to make sure that you end that phase. Because right there, half my charge beam missed. If I just shot the charge beam without any more missiles, then it wouldn't have been end. And that last phase right there, you have to hit with the charge beam and 2 missiles. Unfortunately, only half my charge beam hit there, so I didn't get to finish that phase perfectly. And now this is another core X fight. Right there, I did a double missile there. I only need 1 more missile, but I'll demonstrate it again. Right there, you want to shoot 2 missiles like that, so they're really close together. And as usual, make sure you finish off the core X right where the ability spawns, so you can collect it immediately. Right. Random but straightforward boss. Alright. Now, this is where it actually gets a little bit more interesting, because now we're going to get a bunch of missile tanks that we don't get normally, and even a 100% route. But first, here's the SAX. Now, I think if you have at least 4 E-Tanks, you can do a ballsy method. Lure the SAX to the bottom right corner, get hit by its ice beam, and get hit by its ice beam while you're on its left, and then make a run for it. But it only works if you have at least 4 E-Tanks. Now, you might be thinking, well, I should just get the E-Tank right before Zazabi anyways. Well, the trick I just mentioned only saves like 3 or 4 seconds, so yeah. And it's tricky as well. If you mess it up, you die. So now this here, you're intended to get these 2 missile tanks with high jump and jump ball actually. It doesn't seem like it for the bottom missile tank here. It seems like you're supposed to have gravity suit, but you're intended to be able to get it with high jump. So you can just bomb that right there to raise this pillar and grab that right there. You can get this without high jump, actually, by doing single wall jumps like that. You can jump on 1 wall in Fusion if you're underwater, but it's really hard to time, and it's not really worth it, and it's very annoying. So now there's another pole here, and you can just jump on and plant the bomb like that. After it's blown up, you can just high jump up here and climb through. And you want to do spring ball out. I messed that up, but basically, if you just fall out of this right here, you have to jump back up on this pillar here. So the faster way to get out of here is to spring ball, unmorph, and grab that. So now I'm going to plant some more bombs to raise another hidden pillar here. Oh, I thought the missile would hit. Alright. Now we're just going to climb up this room. Whoops, I spring ball too early there. Alright, so have your charge beam ready, and shoot after you go down the dip right there. Kill that guy. And just bomb that right there. Now as faster you get the missile tank I just got during cleanup and 100% run, because you come back here anyways. Oh frick, I did not mean to do that. You come back here anyways, and you have screw attack and power bombs, so you don't have to wait for any normal bombs to go off anymore. Alright, now normally you just go use shortcut here and go straight back to the navigation room, but we're gonna get 2 more missile tanks. First one being this room. Kill the guys if they get in the way. I highly recommend just kill them if you have the chance to do so, because they get annoying. And get the missile tank here. And we're gonna get 1 more missile tank down here. And now that we have high jump, it's a lot easier to make this jump here. You just jump straight over it, instead of having to rely on the damage boost from one of the enemies. Also, don't kill them, if you can help it. Because if you kill them, then the other vine will revive. Alright. So yeah, we should have 90 missiles, and we're set. I don't recommend, well, at least after you start off, after you know the route better, I don't recommend using a recharge station to check how many missiles you have, because that wastes time. Instead, I recommend just checking this in the New Game Plus, and it gives you a checklist of like how many missiles you have total. Alright, so now we're gonna go off to Sector 4. Whoops. And now Samus is going to talk about the SAX, yada yada yada. I'm going to take this opportunity to explain what a jump extend is, because I'll demonstrate that right after talking to the computer in Sector 4. So when Samus is in the air in a flipping state, and you shoot and you break out of it by going to a standing state in the air, and you gain a little bit of horizontal distance. I think like 1 pixel. You can do that by shooting as well, or pressing up. So shooting is better because you can just continuously hold right or left, whichever direction you're going. By repeating this over and over again, you can gain extra horizontal distance by a few pixels. Normally you don't want to do this because it does actually slow you down. It's a bit slower. But in certain situational jumps, it makes a difference between grabbing a ledge and landing on a platform. And it is faster to jump extend to land on a platform. It also makes a lot of difficult jumps safer. Like some jumps that are normally frame perfect, it turns them into, a manageable jump if you use a jump extend. Yeah. So I'll demonstrate it right after I go through the hall. Again, you kind of want to have your charge in charge as much as possible. Jump, jump, and then do a few jump extends there. So you want to basically alternate between A, B, A, B, A to repeatedly break in and out of the flipping state to gain an extra distance. So make sure you have beam charge there so you can kill that guy with a pseudo screw attack. Another interesting thing is normally when you release B to shoot your charge beam, you break out of your flip. To shoot your charge beam without breaking out of your flip, you can just press tap R. It's very handy. So you'll see me use it right here. So I can use R to kill that guy without breaking out of my flip. It's most useful for doing space boosts, but unfortunately we're not going to be getting space jump in this entire run, so that's going to be a moot. You're not really going to see any of that. Spring ball, plant a bomb, do a few jump extends to make sure you land on that platform, and come up here. And there's a missile tank here. Wow, the enemies really cooperated in this room. Like, there are no enemies on the bottom here. If there are, just shoot missiles to kill them. So yeah, you make sure to unmorph there so you don't bounce as a ball. Right, so be sure to have your beam charged, and aim up and let go. That means you'll kill the guy right there. Because half your charge beam is enough to kill it. Make sure you charge your beam here again, so you can pseudo screw attack whatever's up there, because you can't see it ahead of time. And try to jump before you go through this door. Like right before you go through it, so you can make this jump right there. If you're too late, you'll hit the wall and waste time. If you're too early, you'll waste more time by bumping your head on the ceiling. The door. So you can climb this room up pretty quickly by doing a series of wall jumps if I stop failing. There we go. And again, we're going to use the charge beam to kill the idler in one hit. There we go. You don't need to, it's actually it's best to not get the red extra because Ceres is easy. Well, in terms of, you're not going to die against Ceres after fighting him a lot. So, let me pause for a second. Ceres you can kill in 2 hits, using the same thing as I mentioned, hitting with the charge beam and the flare at the same time. You need to be perfect though. It's not that hard, but he can screw you over. And he's also random, but the first pattern is always the same. So if you stand here and release your beam here, and you can kill him. Unfortunately, I just didn't pull the epic fail. So, and I completely missed that. But if he does a zigzag motion there, you can hit him right there. I'm not sure if that was a full blast, but this boss can give a lot of trouble. And if you mess it up, you lose a lot of time. And that was good though, that was good. So, okay, the fight went 2x too fast to explain. So, after you deal the first hit that I failed to hit, because it's a really easy hit, it's a really easy shot. You can pause buffering is fine. It doesn't affect your in-game time, but in a racing scenario, it does slow you down a bit. But it's better to get a 2-hit KO with pausing than a 3-hit KO without pausing. The idea is you want to wait for a pattern where he goes straight across the room, so it's easy to hit him, or when he zigzags. Because when he zigzags, he's always going to go towards the ceiling right after that, which is what you saw me do hit him with twice. So you want to wait for one of those 2 patterns, and then hit him there. Alright, so now I'm going to go for some double missiles here. I got the double missile there. I got another double missile there. This Core X takes 5 hits, so I don't need a double missile again. And my last blow was right where the speed boost responds, so that was a perfect Core X. The Core X fight was perfect. Now we're going to start doing Shine Sparks. Pay attention to this. So when you Shine Spark off the ground right here, you're going to bump into the wall here because you're a few pixels above the ground. So you have to do something called a low height Shine Spark. Normally, what you have to do with a low height Shine Spark is basically you have to fall down and time pressing A on the perfect frame, so you go through exactly the 2 blocks right there. It's really hard to do. However, if you're blocked by the ceiling in a 2 height block, you can either just press A twice and press left right there, or what I prefer to do is hold left and press ABA. I prefer doing that personally, but it basically makes low height Shine Sparks really easy to do if you have a ceiling like this. Unfortunately, it's kind of not really useful anymore after that one. So I'm going to do a few jump extends right there to make sure I land on this. If you don't jump extend there, you're just going to fall. You're even just going to fall down here or grab the ledge. Now, bomb that, shoot, and get the missile tank here. Now there's 2 missile blocks here. That one, and there's one right behind that. So make sure to get that with missiles. You can get this 2 shots with the charge beam. Remember, a charge beam, 1 shot of the charge beam is 2 bullets, or whatever you want to call it. And the camera scrolls very awkwardly when you go to the left. So you can't see if there's an enemy on the ground when you go this way. So I prefer just spamming missiles. Fortunately, there was nothing here, but there's usually like one of those little spiked guys. And you're not going to be able to see it until it's too late and you can take a hit and lose a little time. So charge your beam, screw the screw attack, screw the screw attack again. There's a faster way to do that, but I'm not consistent at it, so I'm not going to do it. And this is kind of a repeat of before. So a few jump extends, angled missile. Ah yeah, I forgot to go through this. So when you shoot a missile, while Samus's not moving on the floor, its horizontal velocity is basically added. Like Samus's horizontal velocity basically added to the missile itself. This is most notable when you shoot a missile diagonal upward while Samus is moving. So if I should demonstrate it right here, you notice that compare this with that. This with that. You notice that compared to the 45-degree missile, this one goes at like a more horizontal trajectory. It has its uses for getting out-of-place enemies, and you see me do that to get one of the crabs, because you can't get that crab with the 45-degree missile, and I like to kill it before I go up there. Alright, so you can do a low height Shine Spark here. I'm not going to bother with it because it's annoying to do. So you want to break those blocks, charge your speed boost, and then quickly get up here and shine spark left. You don't have much time to do this, so you have to be quick about this. The reason why this is really fast is because why would you want to run to the missile tank in the water? It takes forever to do that. Alright. Now here's another angled missile. I missed it. The reason I used the angled missile there so it goes farther to get that crab on the bottom. But I missed it there. Alright, now here's a minor sequence breaking thing. Normally, there's a missile tank down here. But it's blocked by this. And you're supposed to have super missiles. You can't go through here either. And one way to do this is to get shine sparks through that from the navigation room from above. But that takes forever to do. So we're just gonna do this. Let's tap A right here. And you can just run through before it spawns. You just have to be quick. It's really easy to do. And and just try it a few times, and once you get it, once you do it once, you know how to do it. It's really easy. For some reason, the bugs here with the spike balls don't appear right now. Neither does a vine blocking this missile tank here. So we can just get this missile tank now as well. Now you want to be careful because those enemies up there, you're not meant to fight them until way later in the game, so they do a lot of damage. Now time to get out. Make sure I have enough missile tanks. I should be good. You want to have 23 missile tanks. So as I said, I have 23. You want to end with 125. By the end of Sector 4, sorry. I should have said that. To end of Sector 4, you want to have 23 missile tanks. Or 120 missiles from the recharge station. Alright. So you notice that I charged my shine spark at the navigation room. The tiny time saver you do, after talking to the computer, you can do a shine spark towards the elevator. So you see what I'm about to do. It doesn't really save much time, honestly, so it's not a big deal if you don't get the shine spark. Or the speed boost or whatever. It's not a big deal at all. You can just do a shine spark right, run, jump, and then shoot when you're perfectly at the center above the elevator. I missed right there. So you need to ideally you'd be at the perfect center of the elevator, so you can just push up right after you stop your speed boost. It's a similar idea here. Since now it has speed boost, you're gonna start speed boosting through these halls here. Now, there's three options you can do. You can either brake, which you don't want to do, because you slow down. You can also press down, but you have to press up, down again. Or you can do a jump like I did, and just so that if you do a timer jump well, you can just press down on the elevator and just go straight down. So now, at the start of Sector 3, there's a frame-perfect shine spark you can do, and there's a missile tank that you can use it to get to. You see the long hallway right below on the map, right below the navigation room. That's heated, and you're supposed to have the variety. But I guess even with a lot of health, you can make it through that. But it's really a good idea to make it with a shine spark. So it's a frame-perfect shine spark you can do, and I'll try to demonstrate that. There's a good chance I'll miss it though. So I'll demonstrate that really quickly. Now you can start shine sparking. So right here, when you destroy these blocks, you need to wait for the frame where Samus stands and is flashing white. You also need to make sure that the blocks on the third column are destroyed. So this is the frame I'm looking for. If you get this frame, you press down and you charge it. Now run to the left, shine spark left, and you'll make it through. Now I'll explain what to do if you miss that in a bit, right after I get this missile tank. But I'll go through this for now. Another interesting thing is when you get an expansion, bombs and power bombs still go off. So this is why I'm going to plant a bomb and then get the missile tank first. So that while the bomb's going off, the animation is going on for, oh, you got a missile tank. Just make sure to shoot this door. Now, charge another speed boost. Shine spark right, keep running. And I can shine spark right. If you didn't shoot the door, you have to wait for the camera to scroll to show the door again. And then shine sparks. You have to wait a bit, so it's a good idea to shoot the door. Now, as I mentioned before, if you miss this frame perfect shine spark, which it's very likely you will, because I miss it almost all the time, you're gonna fall down this hallway down there. and you're gonna land right here. It's still good that you guys get the missile tank now. Now's the best time to get that missile tank. So you want to go back here and start charging another speed boost. And then you can shine spark left. Well, after jumping, of course. After jumping, you can shine spark left through the door and get the missile tank the same way. Now, after coming out of that door, either way, you did it. You're going to go here and shine spark left right here. You only have to destroy the bottom 3 speed boost blocks. You're going to go back and destroy those blocks and get this missile tank. There's plenty of ways to do this room. I don't know which one's fastest, to be honest. You can just jump through the blocks, get the missile tank first, and then charge another shine spark. It's not a big deal. There's many ways you can do this room. Alright, now I recommend just doing this. Just jumping right here. That's what I recommend if you're not comfortable with shine sparking. Because if you get the shine spark, you can shine spark through this entire hall right there, and it does save a little time, but it's not that big of a deal. And if you miss it, then you're wasted time. So yeah. Normally you have to go straight up here, but we're gonna go straight down because there's a missile tank down here we want to get now. So plant a bomb, get the missile tank while the bomb's going off. That's another bomb. Kill these guys because they're annoying. Now from this door, start running. So you want to do another shine spark here. And then I could completely fail to push down again. So that was my stupidity. But yeah, you start charging another shine spark right here. I can fail to press down again. Sorry, give me a second to do this. That was an absolute fail. I'm gonna pause buffer this because I don't want to embarrass myself and miss it again somehow. So you want to shine spark up right here, and you go straight up this entire vertical hall. Bomb that. Now remember what I said. Bombs go off during animations where you get missile tanks and stuff. So you want to plant a bomb right when you get the missile tank, so it goes off while you get it. That missile tank is also notorious because it's the one missile tank that you can't skip on console, basically. In a 1% run, that is the 1% you get. So you want to spam missiles here so you can start charging another speed boost. I got it. If you're unlucky, the hoppers can dodge your missiles by jumping, and then you can't shine spark there. If that happens, don't worry about it. Just keep going right. It's not a big deal if you miss it. Now we have super missiles, and which completely outclass our charging for almost the rest of this run. Because remember, this category basically ends right after you get ice missiles. Now, there's a trigger in the next room that triggers the box, the ground to rumble. That's why we're shine sparking left. It's around this area here, so you want to shine spark left to activate that trigger, and then go down here to get another missile tank. Alright. Straightforward. Now the box fight. The important thing to get a perfect box fight is experience, really. Like, just fight box a bunch of times. You'll know what spot is safe, where to aim, how to hit him, and so on. It's really hard to explain the fight. It just comes from a lot of experience how to fight box. Now, with the actual strat here, if you get at least one missile right there, you'll start hopping, and then you can start shooting missiles right here. Now, and then after you shoot the bomb, shoot more missiles here. And I just failed right there. One more missile should do. Yeah, there we go. And that was a decent fight. So yeah, there's a series of wall jumps you can do here. If you miss it, don't worry about it. If you don't want to bother with it, if it's too difficult, don't worry about it either. It barely saves any time. So you want to run back here with your speed boost, and then shine spark up left here, because there's a missile tank right here. Alright. Again, remember, pay attention that I'm using diagonal missiles to kill enemies without stopping. You want to shine spark the bomb block, because bomb blocks are really slow. Like, bombing is really slow. So shine sparking a bomb block is actually faster than bombing a bomb block. Now we're basically done with Sector 3. There isn't much to Sector 3. Recharge to make sure that my missile count's correct. But yeah, it's fine. Now we're gonna go to Sector 6. Sector 6 is notorious for the blue X parasites that basically kill you. And it's a very scary part of the game when first few playthroughs. But once you've played the game a lot, you know where all the blue X are, and it's really easy to dodge them. And they're not a big deal at all. I've never died to them in like a long time until I made a very embarrassing mistake, which I'll probably post on YouTube at some point. This is a good laugh. Anyways. This is more text. Nothing much to talk about. Excuse me. Alright, so now we're going to Sector 6. The night habitat. The route is basically actually the same thing as 100% pretty much. It's basically the same thing except for one missile tank you get on the way back. So yeah, the key thing here is to pay attention to which blocks I destroy, because there's a reason I destroy specific blocks while going to Sector 6. If you destroy the wrong blocks, the blue X are hiding behind them, and then they'll get you. So yeah, now we're gonna start at speed boost here. And charge it here, jump here, and shine spark to the right here. You have just enough time to shine spark before the little flying guys get you. Now, in any percent or 1% run, normally you shine spark through that super missile barrier down there. But since we need a missile tank on the left, you want to bomb that there. While the bomb's going off, you want to make your way through this room. Since we're coming back through this room on the way back, this means that we never really had to wait for the bomb to go off. So we can just get that missile tank back there on our way back without ever having to wait for the bomb to go off. Saves like, I don't know, 1 second or something. But yeah. Make sure you destroy these 2 blocks. Not this one. This one has a blue X. Aim diagonally down and shoot that. Go through. Shoot a few times to make sure to stun that guy. And just run through. Make sure you shine spark from the bottom floor here. If you shine spark from the slope, you're gonna bonk on the wall. And this E-Tank's basically free. There's like no reason not to get it unless you're doing a 1% run. Because you can get it while waiting for the bomb to blow up. And now here's the SAX. There's a way to get past the SAX really quickly and safely as well. So I'll demonstrate that. Alright. So to do this, you want to wait a little bit for it to move right. Because if you make her notice you, or she can notice me now, then if you make her notice you too early, then she's gonna shoot diagonally down, and that's gonna kill you basically. So you want to wait for her to walk right a little bit, then jump up and have her notice you, and then have her jump over you, then run for it. Now destroy that block, destroy those 2 with 1 charge beam. Remember that your charge beam is 2 shots. And then you can just get the missile tank here. Oh, dang it, that was really ugly. Now, if you have a lot of health, you can just charge in here and just take the hits. And then go through the door. That's the fastest way. But if you don't have like over 120 health or something, you can shoot up, jump up here, shoot once. Shoot once! Remember, your charge beam is 2 beams. Because there's a blue X in here. And then you can just go through and get this door. So now, you can get this extra, get this eye door, which is really annoying. Oh, come on. Really? And just use the Mega X. And shooting missiles doesn't do anything, honestly. It's not a big deal. Now, you can kill the Mega X coming up in 4 hits. So the idea, remember, there's a flare around your charge beam. You need to hit with that. It's really hard to hit something like that, though. So the idea is, since you have so much health, relatively so much health at least, you basically want to go inside of it, and then release your charge beam. Do not do a flip jump, or else you'll pseudo screw attack it. So you see me take a hit, go inside of it, and then shoot my beam. It's not giving a good pattern there. They do not do a flip jump. Now, the flare right there missed, so this is going to be a 5 KO at best. So I made a mistake there. Now, also, every time you upgrade your missiles, the rate of fire goes down, so it becomes harder to do double missiles. But you still do them in a similar way, the timing's just a little bit different. And you saw me succeed at getting 2 double missiles right there, which is very good. Right, so now we got the Varade suit. And there's 2 more missile tanks we're gonna get up here. Again, this is basically the same thing as this sector is basically the same thing as the 100% route, until except for 1 extra missile tank we get. I don't recommend doing what I just did. Basically, morph and unmorph. Because the reason I did that is to avoid bouncing on the ledge right here. If you're new, I'd recommend just falling down in human form so you grab the ledge. Don't do what I did unless you're really comfortable with it. Because if you fall down, you have to climb all the way back up, pretty much. Alright, so the enemy placement in this room can really troll you. Luckily, that was pretty decent luck. Unfortunately, I herp-derped and failed to wall jump. Now here's a minor trick here. If you hang your morph ball here, you can spring ball off of it and press up and right, and you grab the ladder right there. And then you can do a series of wall jumps, shoot that, and run through. Failing that, if you fall down here, you can just wall jump off like that and climb up quickly. So yeah. I always shoot up there because that guy right there is blocking the way. And he's blocking the way as usual, so that guy is really annoying. The enemy placement in the stream can really troll you. These puffers are really annoying because they hurt you when you hurt them. They hurt you when you damage and kill them even. And now we're going to get this missile tank here. The reason we get this now rather than before is because why would you want to go for this missile tank when there's so many blue X before you get Varia suit? That's a pretty suicidal idea. Alright. Oh wow. I never made it through that bomb block without having to re-bomb it. That's the first. But yeah, nothing much more interesting in Sector 6. We're almost done. Sector 5 is... When we reach Sector 5, we're basically done. There's going to be an interesting detour we have to take. Which is why, again, the route for 200 missiles is very interesting in my opinion, as I repeated. So yeah, personally, I try to avoid killing the puffers. And if I can, I just try to roll under them, or jump over them. Because they puff out when you damage them. Alright, so here's a difficult Shine Spark to do here. It saves like 1 or 2 seconds. It's not a big deal if you miss out on this. And I was too early on pressing down. If you get that Shine Spark, you can basically speed boost through this entire hall right here, and it saves like an extra 2 seconds. It's not a big deal, so don't worry about it. Alright, so now... we need 4 missile tanks. I think there's 4 missile tanks left in Sector 5. So yeah, Sector 5 has an interesting thing going on. So the very important thing is to not be forgetting any missiles. If you forgot a missile tank and you go into Sector 5 and get ice missiles, you are screwed. Because then you have to do emergency in Sector 3. And that wastes so much time, because you cannot get any missile tanks besides maybe 1 missile tank at the very bottom right corner of the room. Of the sector. But yeah. So if you're forgetting a missile tank, like if you realize you're forgetting a missile tank now, so you need to have 34 missile tanks at this point. So you need to be ending with 38. The good idea, actually, a backup missile tank to get, if you forgot one, is to go up the elevator of the main deck. Actually, no, it's not a good idea because it's not disabled. A good backup missile to get is in Sector 1. Because it's an easy missile tank to get there with speed booster. because there is an extra missile tank you can get in Sector 1 after Speed Booster. It's just that you don't use it in this route, because why would you want to go to other sectors? Alright. Alright, so now, normally what you want to do is shoot that, missile, jump up, missile again, and climb through here. There's something I want to show though, really quickly. There's a missile tank behind this door. There is a missile tank behind this door, but it's locked by a Sector 3, this is a level 3 security door. But the problem is, if you come back here after you get ice missiles, those doors are gonna lock, because then that's when the entire sector flashes. Emergency in Sector 3. So to get this missile tank right now, what you have to do is come back here after unlocking level 3 doors, and then get ice missiles. That's really important, because if you forget to do that, then you are screwed. You lost so much time. Alright, so yeah, you can go through this room. Super missiles are awesome. Just blow these up like that. Having a beam charge here is useful as well, because you can pseudo screw attack here. Whoops. Alright, and then you start to run from here, start another speed boost as usual. Alright, now we can just bomb the next wall coming up here. And yeah, not much to say. You're just basically going through this as like normally in the game. And now we're gonna unlock level 3. Now from here on out, normally, as I mentioned before, normally you go straight to ice missiles, even a 100% run. But we need to make a detour, because as I explained before, if you get ice missiles now, you're not going to be able to get that missile tank I mentioned before. So we need to go and get that missile tank now. Fortunately, it kind of flows with getting 2 of the other missile tanks very well, which you'll see how. So the order of how I get the next 2 missile tanks is very important. Charge your beam here, so you can pseudo screw attack that guy in case it gets in your way of a wall jumping. And then get up here. Okay, this is a kind of annoying detour, but at the same time it makes it interesting. So you want to get this right now. This missile up here. And now we're gonna go get the missile tank at the bottom left corner. Alright, now this is a missile tank we're getting early. This next missile tank we can still get after ice missiles, upcoming, but that means that we have to make a big detour right after getting ice missiles. With the route I'm using, you're done basically right after you get ice missiles. So we want to get this missile tank right now. So that's what I'm going to do. Make sure you need to start charging a speed boost so you can shine spark. You're supposed to have ice missiles for this missile tank. It's a good idea to pause buffer because this shine spark window is really low. Climb up, shine spark up. You can kill that guy. And then this wall jump's really precise. You have to be like almost pixel perfect to wake this wall jump. You can get up there. I'm usually better than this. My personal visual cue is like right here. Usually. That's usually what works for me. But for some reason it's not working very well. Normally this wall jump shouldn't take that long though. This is not working very well. Oh my god, there we go. So that wall jump's pretty hard to do, but it's still worth it. Really. So you can get this missile tank here. And now we're gonna finally go get ice missiles. And it's just a matter of fact of getting ice missiles, and then the missile tank right after that, and then we should be done. Notice that I shot there. That was another jump extend right there, and I did a jump extend there so I could land on the platform without having to jump again. Now we have ice missiles. We have one more missile tank to get. Hook the wall. You can't really do much about those besides pause buffer. And since this will probably be a race, you don't want to pause. Unless you have to. And that's our last missile. We are done. Make sure you have 38 missile tanks. And yes, it says 38. And that means we have 200 missiles. And the moment you get that missile tank, you are done. So, I hope that was really interesting. And I think it's a really fun... Jagger G and I think it's a really fun race to do because it has a really interesting route for collecting items, since you're getting a lot of items that you don't get normally, and even a 100% round that early. And it shows off a really interesting, it shows off a lot of interesting tricks that you are otherwise useless, basically. And you basically go through every sector once, and it's not a really lengthy game either. Like, a lengthy category. It's only roughly 1 hour long, assuming you kind of know what to do. So yeah. Anyways, that's basically it. I'll probably be making more videos like that.